Welcome back to Unit 3, Lesson 4, Part 4 of the video, which is optional unless you've missed class. And we left off, we just finished the initiation stage of translation. Now we're going to be looking at the elongation step. So Part 2 is elongation. That's where the chain actually grows. And this is where my lack of artistic abilities could get us into a bit of trouble, so please be patient. We're going to go down to the bottom like we did before and start drawing the picture. So we started out with our mature mRNA with its methylene guanine cap all the way over to its poly-A tail. And then we had a sequence of AUG, GAA, GCA, ACG, UGA. Okay, so we're trying to get our spacing pretty evenly to make this picture work. We're going to try and draw very carefully. The first thing I'm going to do is actually draw a quite faint color blue where we left off with initiation. So we started out with, actually that's just a little too light. Okay, we started out, we had the small ribosomal subunit bind. Okay, it's important that we're accurate with the drawing here. So, small ribosomal subunit bound like so. Then our first tRNA came in. I know these colors are really light and not that attractive, but that's so that when we show the change, we'll go to the more dark color. And then our large ribosomal subunit came in, such that we had the 3 binding pockets. This was E, P, and A. Okay, and that's where we left off. Now what happens is, in comes our next tRNA, and it's going to bind complementary into the A pocket via its anticodon. So that's going to be GAA, so that's a C, a U, and a U. And if we look up GAA, we'll find out that the tRNA will be carrying, for GAA, it's carrying glutamate, the letter E. Okay? And what will happen is, once this is in there, a transfer step will occur. And the methionine from the P, will transfer. Okay, so it'll transfer over so it sits on top. The ribosome will help it form a peptide bond, and it will sit on top. Like that. At this point, once the transfers occurred, the entire ribosome shifts down. The tRNAs stay where they are, and the mRNA stays where it is, and we'll go to a dark blue to represent how that ribosome's now shifted down. It shifts down 1 codon. So this is the new position of the ribosome. Shifts down, so the A pocket is now here. The P pocket is now having the growing peptide chain, and the E pocket now has the original initiator tRNA, which had the M, but now the M's jumped over, so it's now the empty tRNA. Okay. This process then continues. In comes the next tRNA, so on and so forth, jumping down and down and down. And if you actually go and translate your codes, you'll find it'll jump to here, where we'll have an A, E, and the M. It'll jump to the next one. We'll have a T, A, E, and an M. And then it'll try to jump, and that'll be our last stage, and we'll talk about that and what happens there. As you can see, we're building a peptide chain, and I chose one that spells meat for protein. Okay, so if that was confusing, that's not unusual, because I'm trying to show a 4-dimensional thing in 2 dimensions. So we'll write down what happens, and you'll also notice on the website I'll have some links to some videos you can watch to animate that. But let's go to writing down what happens. So A, what happens is a second tRNA. Remember, we had the first initiator one. A second tRNA, complementary pairs via its anticodon to the second mRNA codon. Landing, the tRNA is landing in the ribosome's A site. B, the ribosome catalyzes the transfer of amino acid from the P site to the A site. So it always goes P to A, not the other way, A to P. It's always P to A. And the formation of a peptide bond between the 2 amino acids. Then in C, I'm going to get a bit crowded and messy here. Ribosome then shifts down, and by down I mean 5' to 3', 1 codon. This results in the empty tRNA, the original one, in the E site. The growing chain in the P site, and the A site is empty and available for the next tRNA. And then step D, the empty tRNA exits E site. The new tRNA complementary, I'm just going to put comp, binds to A site and transfer from P to A occurs. Again. Sorry, we ran out of room. But essentially, what's going to happen is this is a cycle, and we're going to keep repeating. Okay, so we're going to transfer, everything slides, empty one leaves, new one comes in, transfer, everything slides, empty one leaves, new one comes in, so on and so forth, until we get to the stop codon. So I'm just going to stop this here, and we have one more step to finish off the process. And if you have any questions, you can definitely come see me in class or watch the attached videos.